Welcome to the teenage version of ourselves. 2Guys 2Critical. I am 14-year-old Benny, and this is 15-year-old
Luke.
And we are about to talk about movies that shaped our teenage years. The movies that made us feel like we had no other reason to live besides these movies, because they shaped us. They molded us into these women.
These pillars of men that we are now.
Men. Yes, we are men. We talked about our childhood favorites. We've talked about our personal favorites. We've talked about a lot of favorites. We're going to go right into it right away in case you were on the edge of your seat. So, Luke, number one.
Okay, now I need to give some kind of disclaimer. When I turned into a teenager, I started watching some really weird and...
Were you 13 when you turned into?
But I kind of fell into, like, the recesses of film, to where things were dark and disturbing and not very pleasant to watch at all. I'm going to start out with the one film that actually got me into older films.
Okay.
A Clockwork Orange.
Very disturbing.
I remember I was in high school, still not really a teenager yet, and there was this one friend of mine who just kept talking about Clockwork Orange, and I'm like, that sounds like a stupid movie. But yeah, Clockwork Orange basically turned me into a teenager. It's by Stanley Kubrick, my favorite director.
Of course.
Just, you might have nightmares.
My first teenage flick that I loved and shaped my science fiction, The Predator. Freaking yes.
I'm here. Kill me now.
Kill me! Arnold with The Predator. Seriously, this movie, you can watch it right now and it still stands up. Predator, freaking amazing movie. One of the most amazing movies in the sense that it's just man versus
beast.
Monster. Yeah, beast. Yeah. And in the jungle. And just, if you haven't seen The Predator, I know they've done a lot of different adaptations of it in the recent...
If you're one of these people who are raised on Alien vs. Predator or Predators...
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that! This film needs some backstory. It was written by Quentin Tarantino, but then it was adapted to the screen by Oliver Stone.
So that's a mixture of insanity.
Yeah, that's a whole head trip right
Which
there.
Which really is Luke.
For some reason, Quentin Tarantino hates this movie. He thinks Oliver Stone, like, crapped all over his vision. But it's amazing! This is one of the best, like, experimental films ever made.
Yeah, it is.
It was shot on, like, 18mm film, 16mm film, video.
Yeah.
Everything that existed at the time was put into this movie.
I actually don't like that movie only because it's too crazy for me. Like,
it's pretty crazy. Yeah. It's like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with a ton of guns and killing.
I'll watch it like once every 10 years or something.
It gives you a headache when you watch it because they change film types and video types so frequently. If you're a college student who's into film or video or animation, you'll fall in love with this movie. Alright,
next one for me, definitely, speaking about Quentin Tarantino, boom, Pulp Fiction.
My god.
This was definitely a movie, and we talked about it a little bit, that I had to hide from my parents. Growing up, didn't want them to know that I had it.
I've seen that movie like 50 times in college alone.
This movie definitely, I watched it so much. Like Samuel L. Jackson.
John Travolta.
Yeah, but Samuel L. Jackson's performance in this movie, the lines from that movie and just everything, like, it starts, him yelling at the camera at every actor and yelling in every movie starts from this movie. But definitely Pulp Fiction was a movie that I watched a million times, loved in high school.
Now, this is a movie that raised me in my teenage years too, but we try to keep things separated.
Yeah.
I need to mention that when Pulp Fiction came out, John Travolta, Bruce Willis, they were dead. They had no career.
No, their careers were over with.
Just like with Pam Grier and Jackie Brown, he took Bruce Willis and John Travolta and he revitalized their whole career with Pulp Fiction.
He does that. Alright, next one for you, Luke.
My next movie that raised me in my teenage years. Midnight Cowboy. Another super messed up movie from the 60s. Just like Clockwork Orange, it's the only X-rated film that's ever been nominated for Academy Award. But down here in the corner, wait, what does that say? What does that say, Ben?
Best Picture.
Best Picture of 1969.
So it's old.
The only X-rated film ever to win Best Picture. Dustin Hoffman, as you know, is one of my favorite actors. And Jon Voight, they work together and be a couple of really messed up prostitutes in New York.
Weird. And if you didn't know who Jon Voight is, he's the father of Angelina Jolie.
Are you serious?
What? You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. You're kidding. He's... What?
Yes. Yes, he is. He is the father of Angelina. Next movie for me. Boom! 12 Monkeys. I watched 12 Monkeys a million times. Love this movie. It's gotten mixed reviews, definitely, but
it was directed by Terry Gilliam, who's known for making really weird and outlandish movies like Monty Python and the Holy Grail and Time Bandits.
But 12 Monkeys definitely, it was so weird and
Really
so
weird.
cool. Like, I love Bruce Willis, and Brad Pitt was insane in the movie.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, he did.
That's a Terry Gilliam film.
Yeah, it is. You're not wrong. I think I don't know. Like, the 90s produced a lot of crap. Like, there was not a lot of good movies coming out of the 90s, but there were a handful of them. And fortunately for us, and we liked them all. If you haven't seen 12 Monkeys, I bet if you watch it, you won't like it. You might like it just because of the actors that are in it, like Brad Pitt. But
it really is a good movie, though.
Yeah.
But another movie that I discovered as a teenager, which kind of screwed me up for a while. Easy Rider.
I always like how you put them on my shoulder.
This is where people can see them without all the text in front of my face. This is probably the only time in history I can think that Jack Nicholson plays a secondary role
Yeah.
instead of one of the main characters.
Well, because he's with Henry Fonda and Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Take a back seat, Jack.
This movie has some really dark and twisted moments in it that you're probably not going to be prepared for until we tell you about it. Go watch Easy Rider.
Easy Rider. It's an old one. Every library has it. I've only seen it once. I need to watch it.
I only saw it once because it messed me up so much.
You bought it. It's about guys on motorcycles.
It's about intolerance in redneck towns in the 60s.
So if you're a redneck in the 60s right now,
Don't beat up Jack Nicholson.
get back in your DeLorean. Next one for me. I was obsessed with Bruce Lee. And I still am. But I love Bruce Lee. Enter the Dragon. I something about this movie. It was so like badly done. Like but in such a great way though. Like I can't explain it because if you watch it, you're like something doesn't feel right about this movie. Like I feel like they're missing. I feel like they're missing parts in it, or they edited it really badly, or something like that. It's weird, but it's
an outlandish film.
yeah. But but after you watch, you're like, I want to watch it again. Like it's really good. But if you're a video gamer, if you like to play video games and you ever played Mortal Kombat
Or Kung Fu.
this is where that movie came from. Or that's where that idea for that game came from.
If you ever played Mortal Kombat or the original Kung Fu for NES, it came from Enter the Dragon.
Bruce Lee has influenced everything.
Everything. Viewer discretion is advised. This film basically put me through college, but it is not for people with a weak constitution.
Financially?
No,
Oh, okay.
mentally.
Mentally?
This will mess you up. John Waters, Pink Flamingos.
Never saw it. Never heard of
You
it.
should probably never watch this movie.
I won't watch it.
I will make you watch it.
No!
This movie is so disgusting and shocking, and it's an abomination of film, really.
Will you strap me down like Clockwork Orange or make me watch it?
I will strap you down Clockwork Orange style to watch Pink Flamingos.
Oh, now you gotta watch Clockwork Orange. You know what I'm talking about.
And even by today's standards, it gets an NC-17 rating.
That's why I won't watch it for other reasons.
This is a super gross movie.
It looks disgusting.
If you're under 17, you should probably just not watch this video.
If you're under 35,
this is perfect for you.
Yeah, no, don't watch. I don't know if all credibility is just dwindling away right now for Luke. But...
It might be, but I'm not saying it's a great film, but this got me through a lot of empty time at college.
John Waters, if you're watching this,
you need help, bro.
Yeah, man.
But I love your movies.
Yeah, dude. My last one's it's a 2-for-1 shot.
He's got a
deal.
2-for-1 shot.
2 for 1. 2 for 1. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson owned the 90s. I'm
Pretty
telling
much
you,
did.
He did, and poor guy. But Braveheart, Payback. 2 of his best movies of the 90s. Obviously, Braveheart.
Now, there are 2 versions of Payback, are there not?
There are 2 versions. Do not watch the director's version. It is horrible. Let me see.
That's the first time I've
Brian
heard that.
Helgeland. What were you doing? Helgeland, Brian. What were you thinking with the director's version? I'm telling you right now. I guarantee you don't even like your own version. Payback, this movie is awesome, man. It is like revengeful. It's Payback. I don't know how to explain it. Braveheart, if you were around the 90s, in the 90s,
if you were a name in the 90s,
if you were around in the 90s, you loved Braveheart. Braveheart was amazing. It took everyone like by
it was shocking.
Yeah, surprise. Like there's only one way to watch it, and that's on the Blu-ray.
We were once teenagers. These are the films that kind of raised us into who we are today. If you're a teenager right now, I feel super bad for you.
Because nothing out there is good.
Nothing is good anymore, except Gravity.
So we don't have any suggestions for you besides our...
Everything we just told you?
Yeah, pretty much. So if you haven't seen any of these flicks of the 90s...
You need to get on the ball.
Older. Go watch them. Shout-outs to people who are viewing them. Or viewing us, I should say. Shoutouts to who are viewing us at my store. Thanks for watching, Bianca, Charlie, Alyssa. You guys are cool, and I appreciate it. And everyone else who's watching it, who are Luke's friends, that I don't know them. But thanks for watching.
Like, comment, subscribe, and as always,
go watch our movies.
Go watch something.
Peace.
See ya. I need a minute now. I didn't know that.
Yes, he is. You ever seen Tomb Raider?
I fell asleep in the first 10 minutes of Tomb Raider. I went to the video store and paid money.
That's why it was such a historic movie, because it was the first time that John Voight and Angelina came together on screen. It was very emotional for both of them.
John Voight was in Tomb Raider?
Yeah, he's the father in Tomb Raider.
I hate you, Ben. I hate you right now.